Dudes be telling each other love you, bro.
You don't think that's weird?
I think it is weird, but it's not at the same time. I think it's weird because you're not used to hearing that. But I think it's because it's almost like there's a certain level to that love. So when you say love you, it's almost like putting them in the same level as you love your brother or mother or something like that.
You think that? I don't know, man. It seems like men are you can easily read if someone fucks with you by actions. So there's no need for the actual wordage.
I don't know. There's some people you can't read. There's some people it's different. It's weird, but it's because I don't know. They just have something about them where you can't really read them. Where you have the question of like, well, I don't know if he fucks with me or not, like that, and you don't really know. So there's people like that who exist.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I think the reason why it's why there's no thought behind it for me is because I don't. It's like I don't need it. The verbal, like somebody saying it to me consistently for me to be like, oh yeah, I feel loved. In order for me to feel the love, it needs to be said. And I'm not that. That's never been me. So I think because that's the way I work, that's the way my brain tends to try to translate it to everyone else.
But because you don't need it doesn't mean it doesn't do anything if it's given. You're already full. But if I give you a sandwich, it doesn't hurt you. You'll eat it tomorrow. So it's like it's not nothing bad. There's no negative drawback. Because I was talking to my cousin. I was telling her, like, yeah, I'm working on like expressing myself more to like people, because people need to hear it. Like you said, like we need to hug my mom more. We need to tell her we love her. We need to tell her these things, and my dad too. Because we don't do it, even though, and it's just because 2 + 2 = 4, like what's already known shouldn't have to be said. But it's like, nah, some people need it. So I was like, and she's like, oh, so you tell Sus you love him too? And I was like, no. And she like, why? And I was like, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I said, I probably should. But it's like, even though I already know, because but then I'm basing you off me. And it's like, but I could, as a strong, I feel like I'm accurate when I say that. Like, we don't need to say that. But I mean, when it comes from the outside, it does seem like, well, that's
because
weird.
I understand 100%. The whole 2 + 2. I already know it. That's why whenever, there's never a second thought of like, when you think about best interest, what's in my best interest? There's never a second guess of me doubting you as far as like, he's going to look out for him before he looks out for me. There's no question of that. There's no doubt. There's none of that shit. So because there's not any of that, there's no need to say it's already known. So yeah. If I don't question you 100, if I question you, maybe if we had that relationship where I did question you and I'd be like, oh, and then maybe I would be more towards like, oh, he needs to tell me it. But I don't, it does seem weird though. It does seem weird.
It seems like, I think it's viewed upon as like less manly when you don't express yourself like that. But then I'm like, I don't got nothing to prove no more. That's what ends everything for me. I don't care, even if you turn on me, and not even just turn on me. If you're like, man, you're not who you say you are. You're not the person you told me you were. I don't even need your validation no more. I'm on me. I got my 2 feet. And that's why I told you, don't even care what I think of you. And because you have to. So because I'm at that level, I'm not restrained to nobody's boundaries. So I can tell somebody, hey, I love you. And if somebody says, hey, you saw for that, and I'm like, okay, we'll leave it at that, right? We'll really see, because it's like, and it's crazy because a lot of people look to somebody else to see what's gangster, or what's this, or what's that. Oh, he did it, so then I can do it too. But it's like that just shows insecurity, and it just shows like I am that person. And I know that's hella egotistical, but I am. So it's like I'm leading the pack. Now I'm not saying that there's people following me, but I'm just saying like I'm not seeking for somebody else's validation. I create it. So if I'm doing something, then it's cool because I do it. It's not just because 20 of the homies out there ain't doing this because I do it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is not cool. Now it's cool because I'm doing it. And that's how I think. So I would never let any of these boundaries constrain me. I can't do it. It's not me. There's nothing to prove.
I think that freaking the average person doesn't think like that though. The average person wants to fit in. The average person wants to be loved by the many. Why do people chase fame? There's people who chase not for the money. They chase fame.
I think it's from the void because it's like people, like you said, people want to be loved. And it's like for us, it's different because we feel loved all the time. You know, we have it around us 24/7. We're lucky like that. But for somebody who doesn't have it, so they want to feel loved by the world. Why wouldn't they? They're seeking validation. That's what you're doing. You're seeking validation.
Do you think that's possible?
Possible what?
To be loved by the world?
No.
Because I can't think of one person.
They hated Jesus. And that eliminates everything for me. Because when you think of it, right? Like a lot of people come into the space, like the social media world, and they just think everybody's going to like them. And when it doesn't go that way, it hits your head and you're like, damn, people don't like me. But it's just like, what do you expect? And I always compared it to Tupac. I said, there's people who don't like Tupac. So there's no way people are going to love me. It's like that when it comes to music. But now it's like people hated Jesus. That's bigger than anything. People hated Jesus. There's no way I'm going to be loved by everyone. There's always going to be someone to find a flaw in you, even if it doesn't really exist, but they'll find it and they'll put it on you.
Yeah, the internet's not meant for everyone. I just thought you should, but it's like I don't understand where your head was. If you think that if you're gonna be online, even if you're just posting shit on Twitter, whatever, if you do anything online related, there will be someone eventually that's gonna talk shit.
Well, you're basically saying here, judge me. That's basically what you're saying. Judge me. But I think more people should post because why not? If anything is giving you tougher skin to hear shit. Like, and then the reality is you're not hearing this shit in real life. You're hearing it on a screen, digital screen. You're not even hearing it. You're just reading it. And nobody comes across you. And I'm sure there's some people, right? There is people who are gonna say shit to you if you reach a certain level of fame. And the higher you go, the more you're gonna hear it. But I mean, who cares? Why does it matter? You can die anyways.
I know. When you that's the one thing that a lot of people say. You're gonna like this. None of this shit really matters. And in 500 years, your name won't even no. Maybe not even that, but maybe even less time. People aren't gonna know who you were, who you look like, and nobody's gonna care. And everybody who you liked or loved or even knew are all dead.
And I apply that to high school because I remember being in high school caring, and just like on things that don't even matter, like things like I don't talk to none of those people no more. Yeah, I still know them and maybe they'll message me here and there, but it's not like they're my best friend or anything like that. So it's like as kids, because that's your world, it means the world to you at the moment. But as you go into the future and you look back, you realize that shit ain't shit. And then it makes me realize like, man, I should have had more freedom with it. Should have had more fun with it. You know, talk to more people, did certain things because I was so restrained to myself.
I used to be, because when I figured out I needed glasses, I remember I would do everything like I would lie as far as like go to the nurse to get out of reading. You know how back in the day they had projectors? The projectors that
Well, they still have projectors, but now that's a certain projector. What are those called?
I don't know. It's the OG projectors with the little see-through paper.
With the mirror.
Yeah, with the mirror, and it would bounce the thing on the. And then I remember the teacher would write on there, and then she said she was calling out. She was doing some popcorn shit where she would call a random person and she would tell you to read. Well, the paragraph, and I couldn't see, and I was so freaking like. I thought that if for whatever reason, if people knew I needed glasses or I couldn't see, I thought that was like a huge deal. This was like 5th grade or whatever. I thought it was like the biggest deal in the world for people to find out that I didn't have good vision.
And they're gonna make fun of you for it.
Yeah, and it would degrade me as far as like put me at the bottom of the pack type shit. Like I cared about it so much. It's laughable how bad it would make me sweat. It would make me sweat, and I would be shaking of how scared I was for her to call me. And she called me, and I was, as soon as she called me, my ass was, I was already all sweaty and shit because I was so scared. And then I told her she called my name, and I'm like, my stomach hurt. And she's like, she came up to me and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, my stomach hurts really bad. And she's like, okay, go. She looked at me and my ass was all sweaty. So she's like, oh, something's wrong with his ass. Yeah. So I went to the nurse's office, and I would just pretend my stomach hurt. And this is all just because I couldn't see. And I'm like, the extent that we go to as kids to hide shit that we're. It
doesn't even matter. Like, I mean, especially now when I think of it, like, who gives a fuck? But maybe people would have made fun of you for it. But even then, it's just temporary. Don't you think so? Eventually, that joke is not funny no more. So they move on to the next one.
Yeah, and so throughout middle school, I remember, I think up until high school, but middle school, I couldn't read, and every time somebody called me to read on the projector, anything or on the board or whatever, I couldn't see. I had my stomach hurts.
I always hated that. Popcorn, or like when they make you read, I hated that too. Especially when they do like some type of presentation where you would have to go up and speak in front of everybody. And it seems like that's a common thing. Like a lot of people are nervous. Or
public speaking?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Seems like that shit sucks. But then I'm like, you try to boil it down. I'm like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Why does it matter? Like, you're just speaking, like if you're speaking to one person and you're speaking to 2 people, to 3 people, to 4 people, like, why is it? I think it's when there's so much people in the sentence, just the focus is on you. But what if it's like, what if you're just at a store and 10 people gathered to hear what you had to say? Would you feel the same pressure, or is it just the stage?
I think when it's about a subject that you're familiar with, I think it's easier for it to be natural. But when it's something that you have no idea about, and you're up in front of a shit ton of people.
When they make you write a story, or when they make it, you're here to be judged. Huh?
Yeah, and it seems like that energy from the eyes that are landing all over your body, you could feel that shit, and your ass get hella sweaty from just standing up there. I hate public speaking.
Yeah,
I hate it. And I remember when I was in college, I remember I had to take a public speaking course because it's like a requirement. So every week we had to write a story. Every week, boom.
And present it in front of everybody?
And read it in front of everybody. Damn. Every fucking week. Damn. It was like 6 to like 8 of them. And I remember the instructor would always be like, hey, I look forward to yours. You should be this. You should be a writer. You should be this. And I'm like, she just kissed my ass. Like, I don't know why.
What if it is real, though? I mean, we're in the same...
I don't know. But it seems like...
DNA?
I think because I was the only Mexican kid in there, there was one black girl and everybody else was white, and then it was me. And it seemed like it seemed like this was early, like Black Lives Matter. This was pre-Black Lives Matter. So she was like heavy into like anti-police brutality and all that stuff. So she would, every time it came to a subject like hood related,
she expected that from you.
She's like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? All the time. And I'm like, oh, she really wants me to reply with some thug shit. It seemed like that. because I seemed like she was like super prepared for my answer whenever it was. Like she showed us when Martin Luther King got beaten, the video. She showed it to us, and then I've never seen that video before. And she's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Damn!"
In front of the whole class.
Yeah, in front of the whole class.
Oh, she says, "Jesus, what do you think?"
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh,
and like I'm like, I think she expects me some hood shit. I think that's what she wanted, some gangster shit. And I just didn't deliver. Cause she just kept asking me. But I remember telling her all the stories about when the kid had taken your toy. I remember
through story form. Okay.
Like freaking how I came to the career that I was because of my dad, and how the power of music. I was telling him all types of shit like this, right? And then I'll read it in front of the class, and then towards the end of the semester, I remember she told the girl, because there was a girl in there that her public speaking was like 10 times worse than me. Like she would you can tell like she was effed up. She was shaking shit, and she couldn't breathe very well, and she would hyperventilate and shit. So she would give her a pass all the time, but I thought it was just because of that. And then towards the end of the semester, she said, "Oh, you guys don't." She said, "You guys don't need to read it in front of the class." She said, "For your grade, it doesn't affect your grade." She just said that she likes it coming from the, you know how
the source,
the source. So like people who write books, she wants to hear your voice because she says it adds to it. Yeah. So she said you didn't have to, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing then? I'm over here freaking.
But everybody did it though.
Yeah, everybody did it except for I think that girl every once in a while. But I'm like, I still did it even after that. I still did the last two or whatever. But I was like, if I would have known from the beginning, I would have skipped this shit. Like, how do you prepare a kid for that? Like, what would you say to your own kid in order for them to be a little bit more open or not really care as much? Because it seems like you hear from their parents, like, don't care. Like, and yet it's like, I understand why you do, because I went through the same shit you did.
I think the way to teach kids is to boil it down. And that's why you always have to boil stuff down. That's why I think it's important to be analytical. Because it's like, okay, why does it matter? Right? And they'd be like, oh, because they're going to make fun of me or whatever. And they'd be like, but who cares what they think of you? I would tell my kid, who cares what they think of you, right? They have an opinion, so what? And he's like, yeah, but it hurts my feelings or this, whatever. And I'm like, if you really boil it down, you're saying that their opinion of you hurts you more than, like, you believe in their opinion more than you believe in your own of yourself. That's crazy that they have more power over you. It's almost like they're defining you. You're allowing them to tell you who you are. And when you stand confident in who you are, nobody can tell you anything. Because it's almost a form of delusion. You already know, like, I'm good, whatever. Nobody can tell you anything. So I would tell them that that's what you're really doing. You care about their opinion more than your own.
I remember in middle school, there was a girl that was like, I don't know if she was popular, but I remember she would always have a shit ton of friends, and she would talk to everyone except for my ass. And I'm like, I would always wear clean ass white tees. Like the white tee game started in like 7th grade. Once I came across Stanford's and how clean they look, it was just my white tee game was like crazy.
And we would double them.
And
we would double them.
Yeah, we would double them.
Not everybody doubles them. When you double them, you get that extra white.
Yeah. And so I that's what I used to do. And I remember I went to school one time and I had the double white tees. And but the bottom one was a little dirty.
Yeah.
Right? Because I didn't care. I didn't care. I'm like, whatever. I have the clean one up top. So you can't even tell. And then this girl was like, for whatever reason, this day she decided to talk to me. And I'm like, hooray type shit, right? And she was like, I'm not sure what happened. I forgot why she wanted one of my shirts. She wanted me to wear one of my shirts because of something, either hers, something to do with hers. Her shirt like wasn't appropriate, or her shirt something, and she wanted to wear my shirt on top of her shirt, right? And she's like, "Hey," she's like, "Can I wear one of your shirts?" We were talking first, and then she's like, "Hey, can I wear one of your shirts?" And then I'm like, "No."
She seen you had double?
She seen I had double, and she said, "Why? You have two of them on." And then like I could have. That's what I'm talking about. Like I could have played this hella like player, but I was like, my ass said, "No, I can't give you it." She said, "Why?" And I said, "Because the bottom one's 30."
That's what you told her?
Yeah, and she's like, And then and then that was it.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. Bottom one's 30, and she said, "Ew," and never, and that was it.
But if you think, but then again, if
me.
you see somebody who's hella clean, and they tell you it's dirty, I wouldn't think you're dirty because of how clean you are all the time. So it'd be like it probably got like a stain or something, but it's not a big deal. But like it's funny because if she said, "Oh," she took it at the worst. Like that shit's probably nasty. Yeah.
And I that's what I thought too. When after I thought about it, because after that situation, you think about that, you replay that in your head a million times throughout the rest of the day, throughout the rest of the week, and you're like, and I never ever wore a dirty shirt ever in my life again.
Damn.
To this day, I'm still waiting for somebody to ask me, "Let me borrow one of your shirts," because I got you clean.
But you don't wear doubles no more.
I know. So I still clean though.
So you give them the one off your back? That's probably people say. But there was a girl in middle school who told me similar thing, because we would always wear white tees and blue jeans. She told me, "Why you always wear white tees?" And she thought it was like the same one. But you didn't see how clean this shit was? This shit's not the same one. I got into like in defense mode trying to say like I got plenty. Like almost, it reminds me of that one video of them dudes playing around with the underwear where they're like, I'm pretty sure it's scripted, but the dude goes and he lifts up his shirt on the other dude. Like it's three coworkers going up to the other coworker, and the dude's bending over and he lifts up his shirt and they see his underwear. He's like, "I told you, it's the same underwear." Remember
yeah. And then he goes home and he shows
He's
video.
Like, 1, 2. Yeah, I told you to give me the.
I told you to get there. Yeah.
I think I'm dirty and shit. Yeah. It reminded me of that. Like I was trying to defense. Like it's not the same shit. I have hella plenty of white tees, but I remember that was the first time it made me conscious. It made me feel bad. Like, oh shit, maybe people think I'm dirty.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny now when you think about it. I used to have my shit planned out. I remember for high school, it would be a rule for myself not to wear the same shit for a 2-week period minimum. So I'd go 2 weeks without wearing the same shit. And then I would remember.
Oh yeah, I remember you would tell me that. You would tell me that because I would wear, I think, the same shit like the next week. And I think you would tell me, "Don't do that."
Yeah,
and I was like, who gives a fuck? Like,
I just remember thinking like you gotta have at least 2 weeks worth of outfits, because you can mix and match obviously shit here with that. But I never wanted to, because I cared so much. I never wanted to be caught off like wearing the same shit repeat like within the same week. And people be like, "You're poor, you don't," or shit like that.
And we would have like same pair of shoes for the whole year. We would get one new pair of shoes, and then we would have, we would wear like jerseys, large jerseys and shit, big ass jerseys, large Mac Dre shirts in Michigan, huh? Like, so we're no like people are, what the fuck? People didn't understand what the fuck was going on, the way you dress. I was gonna say something. Oh, I think the one thing that I really fucked up on is I really put girls, like I put them on a pedestal, like to where I put them above me in school. Like just because a girl was pretty, I'd be like, oh, I would put her like she's more valuable than me. You know? So I felt like that's where I fucked up the most, because I'm not like that no more. I don't give a fuck if you're pretty. Like, I'm not gonna be mean to you or nothing like that. I'm just saying my way my thinking has changed. Like, you're not better than me. Before it was like, oh, you're pretty, you're good looking, you gather all this attention, you're better than me. And it was always just because, like, oh, you're pretty, and I consider myself to be like ugly. So it's like, I mean, when you really go down the scale, you're like, there's some ugly motherfuckers. So I'm just happy I'm not that. But just when you see a pretty girl, you're like, damn. So I think that's really what I fucked up on, because if I didn't see him like that, I never did no fuck shit, to be clear. I never did no fuck shit for no girl, but I just wouldn't talk to them because I felt like almost like she's out of my league type shit. And I felt like that's some sucker shit. If you're a kid and you're in high school and you're looking at any girl and you're like, she's out of my league, I don't give a fuck if you're the ugliest motherfucker. Where everybody's like, this motherfucker's ugly. To think that is a wrong way of thinking, because she's not better than you.
Like, if you look at all these, a lot, not all of them, but you look at a lot of the girls nowadays, and they're dating ugly.
But that's what you would see, because in high school you would see the prettiest girl be with an ugly motherfucker, and the reason you wouldn't try is because you're like, nah, I'm out of her league type shit. She's too pretty. But then you see what an ugly motherfucker, and then you wouldn't understand the science. So it would make me think, you think girls are conscious of how pretty they are?
Yeah.
Fully? You don't think they'd be like you, because you hear a lot of these girls where they like rate yourself and they're like 10, 10, 10, 10, even though you're like a 3, you know? And it's like, if you rate a man, a man will be more honest, right? Because I'd be like, I'm a 5 or a 6.
If we generalize, yeah. But I think,
some people might be like, yes, it's a 3.
I think women know. They know. They have to know. I just think they have that delusion of like, I'm a 10 because it's like body, what are they called? Body shame or whatever. What's it called? What's it called when you elevate people who are big?
Elevate?
Yeah, like you say, it's nothing wrong with it.
It's just not body shaming.
It's like they say nothing's wrong with being fat.
Yeah, they'd be like, go girl, whatever.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just unhealthy, right?
Yeah, and if you just
it's not they don't come down in value. You're a human being, just like me. Our value is the same. I always go to the extreme, but I always be like, if I'm in a room and the school shooter or a shooter comes in and we're in the same room, it don't matter if you're ugly, it don't matter if you're a different race than me, it don't matter your political stance, it don't matter nothing. If you breathe air and you're a human, we're the same. So my life is not, I don't give a fuck how much money I make, what position I'm in, how many people fuck with me or don't fuck with me or whatever. You could be like considered a nobody or whatever. Your life is the same valuable as mine. So it's just who can run faster. I guess survival of the fittest type.
But would you trip them?
No, I'll never do that.
You never trip somebody?
Nah, that's coward shit.
So if you're running,
you know how people do that, sacrifice a motherfucker for that? I would throw a dog to a zombie.
A puppy?
Yeah. Hell yeah. But then that's like, well, it's because I it's fucked up, but I prioritize humans. Like, humans are first. Then it's animals. Animals should be cared for. Not to say like they're not, but humans first. So if we're getting chased in the apocalypse and I have a dog to save a stranger, so would you throw your puppy? Hell yeah. Maybe, but then I think you would become heartless.
But so you wouldn't jeopardize if your life was on the line and some rando stranger dude his life is on the line, right? If somebody's dying and you have a way to raise your percentage up by sabotaging something of his.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You would want it to be fair.
Yeah, because I'm not a bitch. Like, if I'm meant to die, I'm meant to die. I'm not. That's like, oh, let me sabotage you. Fuck that. I know that's survival of the fittest type shit, but it's like, let's kill each other then. If that's what we're gonna do.
But you're not fighting each other.
I know, but that's what it makes me want to do. If I really want to go there, it's like, let's kill each other then to see who survives. Because it's like, for me to trip you or to do something on purpose just so zombies could get you and not me. I know there's a lot of people who would do that shit.
Probably one of them.
The majority of people will do that shit because they'd be like survival of the fittest, bro. You should have thought of it first.
I gotta come home because I know he probably gonna trip me. I don't trust this motherfucker. He probably gonna trip me.
Well, then expect to be tripped and keep your distance.
But if he come at me, I'm tripping him. He could have came for try to give me high five. I'm tripping him. Don't come close to me. I'm tripping you, and I'm kicking you right before I run away.
I think it would anger me, like The Walking Dead, Telltale season 1. Do you remember when you were in the drugstore and you were leaving the drugstore and the old man punches Lee in the face and he falls for no reason? Like they were all running out the fucking the place. They were safe for nothing. There was no need for sacrifice. Nothing. Everybody was gonna make it. And he was like, "Come on!" Right? The old man was holding the door open for Lee and Clem, and he opened them, and Clem went in. And when Clem went in, he punched him. Boom! And closed the door. So this fool fell. No, he didn't close the door. He just punched them, and he fell.
But did that
for no reason? He did that.
So what was the purpose?
Because he didn't like him.
He wanted the zombies to get him.
Yeah, he just says like he just left you for dead type shit for no reason, just because fuck you. I don't like you.
So I don't remember that well, but he thought that he killed him with one punch.
No, he didn't think that he killed them. He's leaving them for dead. The zombies are getting in, and you're escaping by exiting the building.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
You punch him, you damn near knock his ass out, and you leave him there. You're leaving him there to get eaten.
Yeah, but if you get punched out if you get knocked out by an old man, he deserved to get eaten by zombies.
But not expecting it until Kenny came in, and he's like, "I'm not losing a friend today. Good one." Something like that, and picks you up, depending on your choices.
And then what happens when you meet up with the old man again?
And then that's what you think you would be angry, huh, in real life? Because you meet up with the real man in the game, and then you don't really get to say nothing. He's still mad at you and shit. It's like, what? Like, in real life, right? That would piss me off. That would piss anybody off, right? But then I questioned myself, okay, what would I do? If we were in a building, and we were with a group of survivors, and one person didn't like me for one particular reason or whatever, and he punched me on my way out, and then you come back and save me, yet we go to the same camp, what would I do? Because I'd be like, it's almost like I can't trust you no more. So it's like, you have to leave the camp, or we got to go at it to the death or something like that, because you're not, how do I know you're not going to fuck me again? How do I know you're not going to try to fucking kill me when I'm sleeping?
Yeah.
So it'd be like, yeah, I have to kill you or you have to leave.
Yeah, you can't be camping with people you don't trust. If you're smart, you ain't camping with nobody you don't trust. It's got to be puro ride or die people. If you can't trust them with your life, then they can't be there.
I wonder, like, it's hard to gauge that though, right? Or no?
I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to find people who are like that.
I was thinking like, love is powerful, because I was thinking like, well, this was a question I was gonna ask you, like, if like, because I believe me and you are strong motherfuckers, right? So it's like, if we would go to war, like, it would be crazy, and it would remind me of, like, I always think of like Ragnar shit, like the kids going at it, it would go crazy. But I would like, if we were to fight, who do you think would win? Right? Who do you think would win? Because I don't know. I think we're both strong.
You mean you fight?
Me and you fight. Like
versus mode?
Yeah, like fight, right?
To the death?
Well, here's the thing though, because I was like, right, if we were to fight to the death, I wouldn't kill you. I would let you kill me. Because I wouldn't kill you. So if we were like both like, fuck you, one of us gonna die, at the end, it's not that I'm not capable. I can, but I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. So I would let you kill me.
You can't really fight. You can't really fight someone you don't want to hurt. Because if we fight, we can't go 100%. Because 100% means you're gonna kill them. And if you love whoever you're fighting, you're not gonna go 100% because you're not trying to hurt them. So I don't know. The only way we'd be able to test that is if we can clone each other.
I'm not saying test that. I know this probably would never happen. Well, I know for a fact it wouldn't happen, but I'm just saying, it's just an interesting thought, because of just how powerful love is. Because even if I apply this to anybody else, you know, my mom, I would never. I would let her kill me. But it would be like, am I just gonna sit there and let you kill me? No, I'm just gonna run away from you. I'm just gonna get away from you. But if it's somehow, if it's like, somebody's dying, then I had to die.
Yeah, when it comes to family, it seems like you never want to hurt them. But I don't know. Yeah. Not Arcelli. Probably take one of them out though.
You would fight them?
Probably.
No.
Probably Nora.
I couldn't, I can't do it. With that, I can't do it. It's like a certain loyalty that I have to my people. I can't do it. Can't hurt you, whatever. The only way I would be able to hurt someone is if they're jeopardizing the family in a way where you're crazy, you're trying to kill everyone. And I know you're not stopping.
And someone has to.
Yeah, you have to come down, then I'll take you down. I'll take you down. I don't care. Don't matter how much love. Because if you're jeopardizing everybody, you gotta go.
I Am Legend style?
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And it would be nowhere. If I know it has to go down, then everybody would be like, but I can't do it. I'll do it then.
Like the zombie shit? Like Walking Dead shit where they're like, I can't.
Yeah.
You would be like Rick when he found out that Carl had gotten bitten. And he's like, no.
No, he didn't get bitten then.
Yeah, Carl got bitten, remember? And he was crying. Pull up the video of Rick crying.
That wasn't when that's when the girl died, the mom died in the prison. His wife died.
He
with
cried.
The baby. He was crying like crazy, no, where the famous meme.
Yeah.
That's that.
That's from that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was from when Carl got bitten.
I don't remember Carl getting bitten. I didn't get that far. So I don't know, but
that shit used to be hella good. It seemed like it was hella good. And then when Rick became Superman and nothing happens to him and he survives everything and then he becomes bad boy killer and it just went too far. Now it's now they're fighting against aliens or some shit like that. And it's same shit with Fast and Furious. The Fast and Furious shit. That shit went from street. It went from street shit to saving the world and then fighting superheroes and what the fuck. And then they announced that they're in freaking the new Marvel movie and they're calling them.
I don't pay attention to none of that shit.
I'm just kidding. I don't know about that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's just too far. But I going back to the thing, going back to The Walking Dead, because there's a scene in The Walking Dead where Lee, which is the main character, he goes back to his hometown, right? He's back in his hometown. And he ends up landing in the drugstore. That's the drugstore that he ran out and he got punched. But the drugstore, it was his family's drugstore. So he ends up finding his brother turned, and he has to put him out. He goes and he gets the keys from him because he needs the keys to open the drugstore or whatever, to open the pharmacy so they can get the medical shit, whatever. But when he goes up to him, he talks to him because that's his brother. But then I'm like, he kills him. He kills his brother brutally, because I'm like, he hits him with an axe, and I'm like, is that the way you would do it? Because he hit him in the neck, and then he hit him again. He hit him again, and the zombie dude stopped moving, and then he popped back up, and then he hit him 4 or 5 times in the head again with the axe. So I'm like, can you do that?
I mean, if you don't have a gun, how else would you do it? I'd rather with something long so you can't bite me. I can hit you from a distance.
No, it's just the reality of you smashing your brother's head in.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be hard, but the reality is that you're no longer him anymore.
Yeah, I know, but it's because we have learned too much about zombies from zombie movies and shit to judge that. But if that shit was never a thing, we never knew that shit, and then it happened to us. You know how a lot of times in zombie games or movies, they don't know to aim for the head?
Oh yeah, they find out after killing somebody.
Yeah, they shoot the body or they shoot anything.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck's happening, right? Until they know the head. But because of the movies, we know it's the head.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing as what I mean. So it's instead he just went straight from the head. This was new to him. And he went straight for the head. Bam, bam, bam. This shit was chunk out of this shit was missing.
Yeah, I don't know. Imagine if he could still talk too. Like imagine if you were like, you're infected, you're done, it's over, right? You can't control your body, but you can still speak. Then it would be
then it would
crazy.
eliminate the thing of like he's still in there, so they wouldn't kill you because they're like, "Well, let's tie him up and just talk to him."
But there's no cure.
Yeah, no, but they would just tie you up because they were like, "You're not dead." The whole point is that when you're a zombie, you don't replicate yourself at all no more. You're not you. Doesn't matter how long I keep you around. You're not you no more. So you're already gone.
But there would always be hope for a cure.
So you would just keep them forever. It's like the
people would want to.
It's like remember how in The Walking Dead they kept them in a barn and they would feed them. Why the fuck would you feed them?
Because they thought that they needed
Fed.
food.
But the zombie shit.
I don't know. They have to if they're eating, right?
They just shit themselves. Right?
That's crazy because they have to.
That's what I was saying. If they're eating all the fucking human shit, they eat fucking pounds of meat. Because it's not like they're like, I'm full. No, they just keep eating. So if they keep eating, they're just shitting themselves. You catch a zombie
taking a dump.
Yeah, like in a like, what do they call that? The position? Crouch, taking a shit. And you'll never catch that. If you've seen that, you're like, that motherfucker has some consciousness to him.
Yeah.
Because if he's not shitting standing up, just letting it out. If he's getting in position,
they have to shit then.
Because it's just in there. What's happening then? You have to shit.
People used to think that there was actual zombies when that Florida dude started eating another dude or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, zombies are
bath
real.
salts because the dude was eating the motherfucker.
Shit's real. Yeah, shit's crazy.
People look at like the possibilities of that shit happening. And I think one of the most probably likely to be actual real thing is The Last of Us. And that fungus shit, that spreading shit, supposedly, I don't know, somebody boiled it down, I don't know. Said if it was a possibility. And I think from what I remember, they said it can happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of parasites that take over like bugs in their brains, and they even rats too. Somehow they get into rats, and then they confuse rats to be aroused from cat urine. So then they go seek cat urine, and then they find a cat. They get the cat eats the mouse, and then the parasite goes to the cat's brain, and then that's how they somehow reproduce or some shit like that. It's just when you look at shit that actually is like can take over your brain, even for like animals, parasites to do that for animals, and they trick them into doing shit specifically so that they can reproduce. It's like, oh shit, shit's hella crazy. You never would think that shit was true.
That shit's hella advanced. Shit happening like that with the plants and shit. Supposedly they communicate with each other. Shit like that. Like you said, you wouldn't think that it's boiled down that far because you're like, why does it matter, right? If a tree is standing there for fucking 500 years, 500,000 years, why is it a big deal if we cut it down? It's just that I understand why, but I'm just saying, but like for a random person, he'd be like, why does it matter? The tree's not even alive. It's alive, but it's not really alive. Like you don't have a conscience and shit.
I don't know.
But you think how strong fucking trees are?
Especially those big ass trees. It seems like a shame to just cut them, huh? They've been there for hella long, and we're just gonna cut them?
Just to make a coffee table.
Just to make, either furniture or make room to put up a gas station. We got enough of those bitches. They need to lower the price, though.
There's the things that you can make your own wood and shit. Like I seen Will Survive, so supposedly he bought like a thing to make 2x4s. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I know. You just feed it and it'll cut it into a certain length.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah, they have all kinds of machines like that.
You could probably buy one and then just cut trees down and make your own 2x.
Yeah.
It's just probably expensive.
Yeah, all that shit, all that woodworking shit's tight, but it does cost money. If you're not doing it, if you're not actively doing it, it's not worth it. You ever seen the people who like are like animal lovers or whatever they're called, animal activists or whatever they're called? The ones that are like go to slaughterhouses and they're like, stop, and they get in the way of the machines and shit.
I never seen them get in the way of the machines, but I've seen them protest, and especially a lot of vegetarians telling everybody to go vegan.
They went to, I think it was a chicken like factory thing. I want to say it was a chicken one, and they tied the necks to the machine. There's like a
Oh, I think I heard about that.
there's like a rotisserie thing, not a rotisserie, but like a conveyor, not a conveyor belt, but it's basically a machine that it's supposed to tie the animal from their necks or from their bodies, or I don't know, and it takes them to the machine that like slaughters them, kill, and then like cuts the meat up and then puts them, and then so these people put freaking they clamp their necks to the machine, and they're like, you're not gonna be able to start it, type shit, right? But they snuck in, they all rushed into that machine and they put it on. And the people who were running the machines, it was time to start the machines, right? No day, start the machine type shit. They didn't know these motherfuckers were strapped to the thing, and they turned it on. And then these motherfuckers were panicking because they couldn't get off, and the thing started to move.
But I just don't understand that the stupidity, right? Because what the fuck are you getting at? Like it's like these people who stand in front of cars to protest, or like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, like, people are trying to get to work, motherfucker. Like, I don't care what you're protesting about.
Yeah, but it's because I feel like they think that by doing that, they're somehow because they're affecting everything. They think that it's gonna cause
enough attention
to change. Yeah, but all you do is, I think that's the negative way. That's not the right way to go about it, because. And then they get mad. They get mad at the random passerby stranger because they're automatically seen as the enemy. If you're not part of the group, anyone else is part of the enemy. And like, they'll smash people's cars. Like, I seen people who were protesting, and well, they weren't even, I think they were protesting. Some people were on bikes, and there was one of the dudes. You seen the video of the dude that smashed the rear window of a girl where she had her kids in the back, and this dude got off his bike. He parked his bike. He got on the car and started jumping on the windshield and broke the windshield. And you could see two car seats in the back.
No,
and then the girl comes out and the dude and like telling him like, what the fuck this, whatever. And then everybody was talking shit to her, screaming like, because she's viewed as the enemy type shit. And not until she grabbed the kids out of the back seat did the people understand why she was so upset. And I don't think the kid knew, right? Obviously, he didn't know. But just, you don't do shit like that. Yeah. Why? What's the point? I don't see the point in that. So he does that, right? And then he gets back on his bike, he takes off, and then they post his, like, the internet, right? This shit blows up, and people start looking for this motherfucker. Like, because of what his bike, all the other people that were recording that whole night, they were getting any videos with the Nikes he was wearing or whatever shoes he was wearing, with the helmet and the t-shirt. Dang. They were bringing all the video together, and they found who it was. Now I don't know what they did to him, if he went to jail or what. But I'm like, good.
Well, you shouldn't be doing shit like that. You shouldn't. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't be doing fuck shit like that. You can't be standing in the fucking road blocking shit. Like, there's other ways to do it. There's motherfuckers who put their hand and then they will cement their hand to the ground. And then protest over, right? And they're still stuck. So the fucking fire department, I think, had to come here and fucking chip their hand away. And chip at it. And there was an old dude who was like, whatever, when he was chipping this shit. And he was like, like, stop. So, and it's like, your dumbass is the reason you're in here in the first place. And you're so lucky that you have a community of people who are going to help you. It's their job to help you, regardless.
I would leave his ass there. Get yourself out, motherfucker.
Like, why would you do that?
And I never really ever deal with cement. But from the times we did deal with cement, it shit dries your hands like a bitch. If you don't clean it off, it dries your hands like a bitch, and then it burns.
Yeah, shit burns, yep.
So hopefully it burned the fuck out of his hand. Because what the fuck? There's people who glue their hand to paintings. The activist guys, whatever the fuck, the woke motherfuckers, the anti whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, they glue their hands to like famous paintings as a show of protest. And I'm like, why would you do that?
When you do anything that inflicts harm on yourself, you're relying on everybody else to be morally correct, to care and value you as a human, because that's the only way it works. When you stand in front of the road, you're relying on everybody's morality to be like, I'm not going to run this motherfucker over, right? So you're relying on that. You should never put your life in other motherfuckers' hands, or it's a dumbass move.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that to get your way? It's like when I was gonna say when bitches, I was gonna say when certain people are like, I'll jump out the car right now. So, you know what I'm saying? Like where they try to cause harm. There was a girl and this was early on, probably like middle school. There was a girl who she cut herself, and I seen her hand, and I seen it, and I'm like, what happened here? And then because it was just one slice, right? And I was like, what the heck is that? And what happened? And then she raised her sleeve up, and it was fucking, and I was like, shocked. I was like, what the heck is going on, right? And I don't remember what she said, because I told her, don't do that to yourself. I told her, don't do that. And I don't know, she's like, I don't know what she wanted from me, but she gave me like an option of like, you do this or I'm gonna cut myself again. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I don't remember what I did. I was telling her, no, don't do it. Shit like that. But I don't know if I was like, because I think at the end I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it. But it was like, because I don't like the fact that you put me in a situation where it's like my fault. Like, it's not my fault. If you decide you hurt, if there's somebody, if you go up to a girl and be like, go out with me, and if you don't go out with me, I'm gonna kill myself, and then she's like, fuck you, and then you kill yourself, it's not her fault. People say now, and I don't know if this is true or not. People say, right, like if I bully you, or just bully you verbally, not even touching you, just you're fucking ugly motherfucking bitch, something like that, right? And that leads you to kill yourself, that I'm somehow now under homicide. I killed you. Basically, they're trying to imply, I don't know if that's a law or they're trying to make it a law. I don't know where I heard that. But I'm like, what the fuck? How does that work? Because then you're limiting freedom of speech.
I don't think that's,
it's not right.
I don't think that's how this should be.
It's not right for me to bully you or say anything mean to you, but to say, oh, you inflicted that damage on yourself. And why am I liable for the damage you done to yourself? They'll say because you caused them that pain to do that.
I think people are just soft nowadays. So because of the softness, nothing. You can't tell someone nothing. It'll hurt their feelings.
There's some people who be like, bring bullying back. And I mean, I'm against bullying. But does bullying toughen you? Maybe not everybody. I think it toughens you if you resort into taking action. If you're like, you know what, fuck this.
Do you think it's like a 10%? Toughens like 10%, 20% of kids?
I mean, I don't know.
I wonder if it hurts more than it helps.
It probably does. But I remember seeing a video of a bigger kid getting punched in the face. Pow, pow, against the wall. And then he's like, fucking, and he grabbed him and picked his ass up and slammed his ass hella hard.
On his knees, huh?
And the other dude was like, he was dead and shit on the floor. Yeah. And then like, that's what happens. You get, and you're as a kid, like that shit probably did damage to, he's a kid. But I mean, when you fuck around, you find out. It's like if you're fucking with an animal, a tiger or something. I see motherfuckers do that. Videos of them fucking with him, playing with, fuck, to the fucking tiger or the monkey. And then I seen the monkey grab that motherfucker. And when he grabs you, it's a fucking, it's real now. Now you're scared. This motherfucker grab you and start biting you. No, bitch ass. So why you fucking with it?
I know. I never understood people who tempt shit. who just tempt it just because they feel like they're protected.
It just feels. I think it's fun for them.
Yeah, I don't. It's because I don't. I just feel like you're asking the world to get you. And so you don't fuck with shit. That's why when you see something, you don't investigate. Oh, is that a bear? I don't know. I'm not gonna find out. I'm gonna go the other way.
No, but people over here with their ass out, huh? With their ass out. And then one day you can get fucked. So don't be doing that. That's a no.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what it is. I don't know. I just don't. I value my life too much. I value my life way too much.
Zero risk. My philosophy for everything is to minimize risk. If there's any risk for any kind, my ass is not involved.
Like there's people who say, I'll cut off a finger for 100,000. I wouldn't cut off nothing. I wouldn't damage my body in any way for any amount of money. No.
I'm trying to think. Would I cut off a finger? For how much?
For $1 million.
Nah, that's not enough.
I wouldn't do shit. So if a motherfucker offered you, I mean, maybe that's a lie.
100 million? If he's like 100 mil?
Maybe that's a lie because when I think of it, like, because would I not sacrifice myself for my family? I would.
But so how much are you worth to us? Is what the question would be.
But it's not really like, because I know if I did something foolish as like cutting my finger off for $1 million, I would hope that my family would be like, what the fuck you doing, dumbass? Just keep your finger. Like, what the fuck you were going to that? But I think it's like, to me, I'd be like, we'll figure out a way to make $1 million in a certain way, you know. But if we don't, we don't. But fucking don't cut your finger off. That's just dumb. That just
for $1 million is not worth it. But if you came home with a missing finger, like me personally, you came home with a missing finger, but you showed me your bank account and it shit had 100 mil in it, I'll be like,
the only way I would do it is in the view of helping others. So if it's like, yeah, I might have to suffer. Like if there's somebody said, it would, even if you go as far as like, you will never be able to walk again. You'll have to wheelchair around for the rest of your life. But the money you give me is fuck ton, right? That I can change millions, not even millions, but let's say thousands of people's lives. Then it just comes down to sacrifice.
It's not worth it.
They asked Jennifer Lawrence a question. They said if a train's coming and it's gonna hit 10 people, and you can deter the train in a different direction to hit one person instead of 10, are you gonna do that? So you're basically killing one to save 10. Would you do that? And she said yeah. She said she would do it quick, like no matter. And she said,
but would it matter? So if it's 10 adults and one kid, one baby.
Damn, I didn't think of that. That would be harder, right? Because if it's a toddler or it's an infant. But you would have to think of it in the grand scheme, because one life gone or 10 lives gone.
Yeah, but I would think about it like 0 sin, shit ton of sin. Like fully lie. These, because they might not even be good people. They might not even pay taxes. So,
I mean, it's still humans. You have a certain amount of value just for being a human, even if you're a shitty person.
But if there was a graph, for value, babies would be at the top.
No, because they're the most innocent. So they took it as far as like, okay, you would deter the train, right? You would make it go in a different way. But they're like, what if you had to push that motherfucker off the train? So push a motherfucker off the train to save 10. Would you do it? She's like, yep, I'll do it. So I'll do it, definitely. She's like, she was on a lie detector test, and she's like, she said she thinks about when she's in the subway. She said, I think about all the time about like, what if I push someone? What if I push someone?
Like while the train's about to come?
Yeah, what if I just push someone on the tracks? And then the lie detector, the dude's like, yep, that's true. And she's like, I just told everybody I'm a psychopath, whatever. I just stopped myself from doing these things, not acting upon it. But that's a good ass question, huh? Because bring it even harder, right? You have to throw a baby out to save the 10.
10 adults?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me, I would hold on to the baby, because I'd be like, nah, y'all motherfuckers lived.
Yeah.
So it's like, but they're like, okay, switch spots with me then. What if they said that? If 10 motherfuckers gotta die,
Nah, not if I don't know them.
what if it's like
Fuck them.
the mom's baby?
Which mom?
Say there's 11 people and the baby. 11 adults, 1 baby. 10 motherfuckers gotta die. And for some reason, you are already the one who was chosen to survive. There's no fighting, nothing. You're already chosen. But the mom asks you of the baby, switch with me. That's my baby.
I would tell her.
Isn't he enough? Isn't he? I'm throwing this baby now.
I would tell her, fuck you. And then West Side. And then
Because what? She already won?
because she's saying that she deserves to live more so than you. In what basis? Just because you're a mom? Fuck you. Why? Because you're a woman? Fuck you. Equality, bitch. What else?
That's my kid. He's going to be motherless.
I don't give a fuck. I gotta go play Don't Starve. What do you mean? I haven't even beat the world yet. Sorry.
Damn, that's rough.
Hell no. I would not trade spots with nobody. My life or 10 strangers. 10 strangers, 11 strangers, even if it's a mama, it's a grandma, it's whatever. I don't give a fuck if you're getting married next week. Your dad got deported. I don't give a fuck. My life, it comes first. Now, if it was a kid, if there was a kid amongst those 10, another kid, the only left, it was a baby, it was 9 adults and 1 kid, that's more like, fuck.
You don't like the heroic act?
Nah, not when it's a bunch of grown motherfuckers. Fuck them. If they're grown, fuck them. If they're kids is like, okay, I might consider it heavily. But
so if it was a kid, if he was just like, that's my brother.
Yeah, even if he's not your brother.
Say there's 10 adults. No, there's 9 adults and 1 kid. But the kid is like a teenager.
No, fuck him too.
He's 12. No, he's 13.
Oh, 13 and under, I'd probably consider it.
He's 13 and he's like, that's my brother. Like,
that wouldn't increase or decrease it if the baby's his brother or not. For me, I'd be like, that's
yeah, it just comes down.
It just comes down to you're a kid. So you're a kid, I might switch with you. Fuck it. But I'd have to think about it. I'd have to debate whether I can get one more snack in. Like, can I eat something right before? If I can eat something, I'll probably switch with them if I can eat something real quick. If not,
like, what if it went further? Like, what if it went dark, where you had to kill someone brutally, innocent, to save millions?
Who would it be though?
Why does it matter? It's a human.
Well, it matters because if it's like a dude or a girl, and whether or not it's like a criminal or like an innocent
let's make
person.
it as worse as like
an innocent baby.
Damn. To save millions?
In what part of the country?
Why does that matter?
Because if they live good lives, like if they're...
It's a baby.
No, I know, but I'm saying...
Are you talking about the people you're saving?
Yeah, where are they located? If they're located in Nebraska, might not give a fuck. If they're located somewhere like Michigan, I might be like, gotta think about it for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. That's too deep. I don't know what I'll do.
Brutally? I might say fuck those million people. Say the baby.
Because it'd be like, oh, I'm not doing nothing, huh?
Yeah, as far as committing.
You'll try to be like, oh, your hands are clean, but people are like, no, they're not. There's blood on your hands too.
There's no winning. But it's just the fact of you doing the killing is
when the president, would you think when the president sends these airstrikes or whatever for war, whatever, they're guilty, right?
Yeah, but they don't.
So in the eyes of God,
yeah,
just because you didn't commit the act, but you ordered the act, it still plays a role, right? Well, you would like to think it did.
What about the people who are doing the actual navigating the drones or shooting the people with the fucking in the screens with the infrared? And
I wonder if it gets worse as it goes down, though. If I ordered it, because if we just look at justice through our lens, what we know. If I order a murder, and then the other dude buys the gun, gives it to the next guy, and then the other dude shoots him, Does it get worse as it goes down? Or is it the same thing? Because I ordered it. I ordered it. We all had a role in it. So it's like, I commanded it. This dude got the weapon to do it. And the other dude executed it.
It's probably just as guilty throughout.
In our eyes, right?
Yeah, because everyone had a part in it. Now, unless
that's how the law works.
Yeah, unless the guy who sold the gun didn't know what it was for, then he would be neutral. But the one that committed it and the one that ordered it would probably still be murderers.
I think a comedian said, like, murder's bad. He said murder's bad, but he said it's crazy how we give people different sentences based off of whether you was what do they call it? Whether you think about it before. What do they call it?
Premeditated.
Premeditated, yeah. Whether it's premeditated, you get more years for murder. So what's that? Just because you thought about it. So thinking about it gives you more time.
Planning it out.
Why? Because then it's
planning it out means like, because if you kill
trying
somebody,
to get away with it.
Like if I murder somebody,
why does it matter though?
Because people might say like in the moment, heat of the moment, like the girl who there's a girl who ran over her husband because he was cheating on her. She found him cheating on her with somebody in a motel or some shit, and then she ran his ass over like 5 times or whatever. Like she would run his ass over, boom boom, put it in reverse, boom boom, put it in drive, boom boom, like that. And I think she got away with it. And they said it heat of passion. That's some bullshit. My leg, oh my leg.
You got a cramp or what?
Yeah.
Heat of passion. What the fuck does that mean? They try to say because in the moment. It can't be that bad. Just shake that shit off.
It's both legs.
How you get a cramp on both legs? That's some old man shit. You're getting old. I can't think of the last time I got a cramp. The last time I got a cramp is because I put my leg in a weird position or something.
Fucking
how you get a cramp like that?
That shit hurts.
What do you mean? That shit still it came back or what? You might have to end it. Suck that shit up.
That shit hurts. Oh my god. Damn. Why? I never had this before. Both legs at the same time.
Damn. Thank you for listening to the AB podcast. You can follow us in the links below. All our social medias are linked there. If you want to buy some merch, the merch that we're usually wearing in the podcast, you can buy it as well. The link will be below. Do a stretch. Why you bent? Why you hunched back? Stand straight.
I can't. The sign straight it hurts worse.
Why? I feel like that would fix it.